Hello everyone. Today we will learn about the mandibular nerve and its connections. The mandibular nerve is the thickest branch of the trigeminal nerve. It is a mixed nerve and arises by two roots, one sensory root and one motor root. The sensory root is from the trigeminal ganglion. The trigeminal ganglion is situated in the Meckel's clave at the apex of the petrous temporal bone. So this is the trigeminal ganglion and this is the sensory connection to the pons. From here, three branches: the ophthalmic division, the maxillary division and the mandibular division. So this is the sensory root, which is a little bit thicker, and a slender motor root starts from the pons, passes underneath the trigeminal nerve and the ganglion, and both enter through the foramen ovale. This is the foramen ovale. These are in the medial cranial fossa, and through the foramen ovale they enter into the infratemporal fossa. Immediately within the infratemporal fossa, the two roots unite to form a common trunk of the mandibular nerve. This is the trunk of the mandibular nerve, which after a short course divides into a short anterior root division and thick posterior division. So two divisions are, these are the terminal branches of the mandibular nerve. This is the trunk of the mandibular nerve, anterior division and posterior division. So this part, the trunk and the divisions are related to the lateral pterygoid muscle, which is present on the lateral aspect. That is, if we see from this lateral aspect, the muscle is obstructing the view of the mandibular nerve and its branches. So to view the mandibular nerve, we have to remove the lateral pterygoid muscle. So this is the lateral view. Then we will see the branches of the mandibular nerve first. From its trunk, the mandibular nerve gives two branches. Before discussing the branches, we just see the relations. Laterally, the lateral pterygoid muscle is present. Posteriorly, we have the middle meningeal artery, like this. The middle meningeal artery is a branch of the maxillary artery which enters the middle cranial fossa by means of through the foramen spinosum. So this is the foramen ovale and this is the foramen spinosum. So this is the foramen spinosum. And on the other side, that is the medial side of the mandibular trunk, we have the tensor veli palatini, and there is a peripheral parasympathetic ganglion which is of 2.5 millimeter size. The otic ganglion is present immediately on the medial aspect of this mandibular trunk. We will see the medial aspect in another diagram. So now you can see the relations. Then we will see the branches. The first branch of the mandibular trunk is the nervus spinosus, which again enters into the middle cranial fossa through this foramen spinosum. So this is the meningeal branch, which is otherwise called nervus spinosus. This is the nervus spinosus. Nervus spinosus. This is the middle meningeal artery through foramen spinosum. This is the first branch of the mandibular trunk. On the medial side, that is on the other side, nerve to the medial pterygoid muscle is present, which is a short nerve, and that nerve also gives two or three filaments to the tensor veli palatini and tensor tympani. We will see the middle side also here. These are the two roots, motor and the sensory, and anterior division and posterior division. So this is the medial side. Here on the medial aspect we have a peripheral sympathetic ganglion at the origin of the nerve to the medial pterygoid. So this is the nerve to the medial pterygoid muscle, and it also gives few filaments to the tensor veli palatini and tensor tympani, which passes through the ganglion without any relay. So this we will discuss a little bit after. So now there are two branches from the trunk. One is the nervus spinosus, this is the nervus spinosus, and nerve to the medial pterygoid. The nerve to the medial pterygoid gives filaments to the tensor veli palatini and tensor tympani. This is the otic ganglion. Now coming to the anterior division. The anterior division gives three motor branches and one sensory branch. The first motor branch is the nerve to the masseter. So the masseter or the masseteric nerve, it ascends behind the lateral pterygoid muscle, reaches its upper border, then turns laterally to come out through the mandibular notch. So masseter muscle is present outside the mandible, so it enters the muscle from its deeper side and innervates the masseter muscle. So this is the masseteric branch. Masseter nerve. Then the second, there are two branches to the temporalis muscle. They ascend up. So they ascend up like this. One anterior and one posterior temporal, deep temporal nerves. These are the deep temporal nerves which pierce the temporalis muscle from its deep side to innervate it. These are the motor nerves. Then another nerve is there, the nerve to the lateral pterygoid. It gives two filaments, one for each head of the lateral pterygoid. You all know the lateral pterygoid muscle arises by means of two heads, one upper head and one lower head. So that's why there are two twigs are there. They are for the lateral pterygoid muscle. These three are the motor nerves. Then the fourth one is the sensory nerve, which is called the buccal branch. The buccal branch comes out between the two heads of the lateral pterygoid muscle. So between the two heads of the lateral pterygoid muscle, it emerges laterally and reaches the cheek under the anterior border of the masseter muscle. It supplies or it innervates the skin and the mucous membrane, which are related to the buccinator muscle, but it won't supply the buccinator muscle. The buccinator muscle, the motor function is from the buccal branch of facial nerve. This is the sensory nerve. You have to remember that. These are the branches of the anterior division. So we'll just recollect once again. The anterior division gives three motor branches and one sensory branch. The first motor branch is the masseteric branch, which ascends up, turns laterally to emerge out through the mandibular notch. Then it supplies the masseter muscle from its deeper aspect. There are two deep temporal nerves, one anterior and one posterior. They ascends up, emerge out from the upper border of the lateral pterygoid muscle, and they pierce the temporalis muscle from its deeper surface to supply it. The third one is the nerve to the lateral pterygoid. The lateral pterygoid also, it gives two twigs, one for each head of the lateral pterygoid. The last one is the buccinator nerve to the the buccal nerve. The buccal nerve is a sensory nerve which emerges out between two heads of the lateral pterygoid muscle, and it reaches the cheek to innervate the skin over the buccinator muscle and the mucous membrane present with behind the buccinator muscle, but it won't supply buccinator muscle. You have to remember that. These are the four branches of the anterior division. Coming to the posterior division, the first division is the auriculotemporal nerve. The auriculotemporal nerve emerges by means of two roots like this. The two roots encircle the middle meningeal artery. The two roots encircle the middle meningeal artery, then reunite to form the auriculotemporal nerve. The auriculotemporal nerve, it travels along the upper border of the lateral pterygoid muscle, then curves around the temporomandibular joint and ascends up. After curving around the temporomandibular joint, it comes near the upper pole of the parotid gland. Parotid salivary gland is here, so it comes out like this and ascends up. It ascends up in front of the tragus and reaches the temple, where it divides into its terminal branches, the superficial temporal branches. Near the tragus, it gives its auricular branches. That's why it is called auriculotemporal nerve. So the auricular branches supplies the skin or the tragus, the upper part of the auricle, the roof and the anterior wall of the external acoustic meatus, and the cuticular layer of the tympanic membrane. So auricular branches and the superficial temporal branches. The most important thing is it carries special fibers which are the post ganglionic fibers from this otic ganglion. So the post ganglionic fibers are the post ganglionic secretomotor, that is the parasympathetic fibers from otic ganglion to the parotid gland. Also they carry fibers which are sympathetic in nature, and they are the post ganglionic sympathetic, that is the vasomotor fibers from the superior cervical ganglion, which pass around this middle meningeal artery. They pass through the otic ganglion without any relay, then go through this auriculotemporal nerve to reach the parotid gland. So this carries the fibers passing through the auriculotemporal nerve are the general sensation. These are the branches of this posterior division are sensory. So this auriculotemporal nerve carries sensory fibers to the skin of the tragus, upper part of the auricle, temporomandibular joint, external acoustic meatus, cuticular layer of the tympanic membrane, and the skin over the temple. And other fibers passing through this nerve are the postganglionic secretomotor fibers, which are parasympathetic in nature from otic ganglion, and also the postganglionic sympathetic fibers which are from the superior cervical ganglion. They pass through the otic ganglion without any relay, then pass through the auriculotemporal nerve to reach the parotid gland. These are the fibers we can see in this auriculotemporal nerve. Then coming to the second branch, that is the inferior alveolar nerve. The inferior alveolar nerve is a thick nerve, descends down between the ramus of the mandible and the sphenomandibular ligament. The sphenomandibular ligament attaches to the mandible at the lingula of the mandibular foramen. So this nerve enters into the mandibular foramen and travels in a bony canal within the mandible. While doing so, initially it forms inferior dental plexus within the bony canal, which supply the gums and the adjoining mucus of the molars and premolars. Then it runs forward in the same canal, and at the junction of the dental canal with the mandibular mental canal, it divides into two branches. One branch goes in the same canal as incisival nerve. That incisival nerve supplies the incisors and the canines, and the mental nerve comes out through the mental foramen onto the chin, where it supplies the sensory innervation to the skin over the chin and the lower lip. So this divides into a mental, this is the incisive nerve and this is the mental nerve. So this is about the inferior alveolar nerve. Here there is a specialty is there. The motor fibers, few motor fibers are carried through this inferior alveolar nerve, which come out just before it entering into the mandibular foramen as a nerve to the mylohyoid, like this. So they pierces the mucous membrane, then they innervate the mylohyoid muscle and also the anterior belly of digastric muscle. These are the motor fibers which pass through the inferior alveolar nerve. This is about the inferior alveolar nerve. Then coming to the last branch, that is the lingual nerve. Lingual nerve lies in front of the inferior alveolar nerve. It passes vertically down from the below the lower border of the lateral pterygoid. Then it passes between the mandible, ramus of the mandible and the medial pterygoid muscle. Then 1 centimeter behind the last molar, it comes under direct contact with the mucous membrane of the floor of the mouth. Then it leaves the mandible and enters into the tongue. Okay, so while it is behind the lateral pterygoid muscle, it receives a branch from the facial nerve, that is the chorda tympani branch, which joins this nerve at an acute angle. I will just give another color. Like this. This is the chorda tympani nerve. So this lingual nerve goes to the tongue muscles and it innervates the mucous membrane of the and muscles of the tongue. It is very important nerve in this infratemporal fossa because it carries fibers of general sensation from the tongue muscles and the adjoining mucosa of the gums, and also it carries special muscles, special fibers, the fibers of taste. That is the peripheral processes of the geniculate ganglion of the facial nerve are carried through this chorda tympani nerve, which carry the special sensation, that is the taste sense, from the anterior 2/3 of the tongue to the geniculate ganglion of the facial nerve, which is in the middle tympanic cavity. Then also it carries the preganglionic secretomotor fibers to the submandibular gland and sublingual gland. Also it carries postganglionic secretomotor fibers from the submandibular ganglion to the sublingual ganglion, sublingual gland. So while going, so it gives a small tweak to the otic ganglion, which may be the alternative pathway for the taste sense. That's why it is very important in this region. So sometimes the referred pain from the dental caries or the infections of the gums may be referred to the temple region by means of this auriculotemporal nerve. This is about the mandibular nerve and its branches. We will see the mandibular nerve from its medial side. Already details of otic ganglia we covered in class of otic ganglia. So I'll just give you few things. So these are the branches of the anterior division. This is the auriculotemporal nerve. Inferior alveolar nerve and the lingual nerve. This is joined by the chorda tympani nerve. This is the chorda tympani, inferior alveolar nerve and lingual nerve, auriculotemporal nerve. Otic ganglion receives preganglionic sectomotor fibers from the lesser petrosal nerve. This is the nervus spinosus and this is the lesser petrosal nerve. So these are the branches of the mandibular nerve from its medial side. The general sense, pain, temperature, position, all are carried through these fibers to the principal sensory nucleus of the trigeminal nerve, spinal nucleus of the trigeminal nerve, and most importantly, the proprioceptive fibers of the muscles of the mastication, the stretch, tension, all these are carried to the mesencephalic nucleus, which is present in the periaqueductal gray matter of the midbrain through this mandibular nerve and its motor, its sensory root. The motor fibers are from the motor nucleus of the trigeminal nerve. This is about the mandibular nerve. Tomorrow we will meet with another topic. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and you can ask any topic or question or doubt related to mandibular nerve, or if you want to have any special class, you can ask me in the comment section. Thank you very much.